and clean things up. And I've got 30% on that. That should be okay till half time. In play. Right, okay. So we have Bournemouth and Fulham. Fulham been doing rather well until recently, so that should that'll be an interesting game. We've got Sheffield United, Luton. Oh wow, that's a battle of the relegation there, isn't it? And then we come to Millwall 2, QPR 0. That's just finishing. So when that one start, that's not going to tell me on there, is it? We go to the Sky Sports app. Looks like Millwall are going to win that one, which is that's going to be happy for the Millwall fans. The Millwall fans are going to be overjoyed by the fact that looks like they're going to beat. Yeah, and Preston have beaten Leeds 2-1, so that's going to be another interesting one. Preston are obviously in there thinking that we're an hour and a half, and that's 3 to 1:30. That's an odd time, isn't it? 1:30. 1 o'clock. It would be about 12:30. 12:30 start would have been a 1:30 second half. 2:15 finish. So, God, what time on earth did they start that game? When did Millwall start? I'll ask. I wish we had people on. I'll be asking them what time the Millwall game started. Well, in 20 minutes it would be 2 hours. So in 5 minutes it would be 2 hours. 2 hours ago. Yeah, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock it turns out. So yeah, very odd. So that's the games starting. Here we go. The games are underway. Place bet. So, what do we have? We have Cardiff versus Plymouth, and now that one that's going to be Millwall's just finished 2-0. With the Cardiff Plymouth one's interesting, because I think Cardiff are hit and miss, but then Plymouth are brilliant at home, but they're not that good away. I'm going to go for a Cardiff win, I think, on that one. Coventry versus Sheffield Wednesday. This is another tough one. I think Sheffield Wednesday will make it very difficult for Coventry. I've got a feeling the odds are that Coventry, the odds here are 4 to 5 on for Coventry, but I just think that that Sheffield Wednesday might get a win. I'm going to go for a draw, but I think if anybody's going to win it, it could be Sheffield Wednesday. Huddersfield versus Blackburn. I think that has to be a nailed-on Blackburn win, really. Hull versus Sunderland. Ouch. Now that's it's ouch with the odds as well. The odds are very even across the board on that one. They really haven't a clue. Having a clue what to do. I think that Sunderland will. I think Sunderland have better quality to be able to do that. Rotherham, Middlesbrough, Rotherham. I think it's going to be a good day for Rotherham. I think that we may we may lose by just 1 goal, so that'll be a good day for Rotherham. Southampton, Swansea. Last minute, I'm going to go for a 92nd minute winner for Southampton. Off the shin of a Swansea player. Watford versus Bristol City. I'm going to quickly go for what I'm going to go Bristol City, because Bristol City are actually up, down, and everywhere around. And it's about time they actually put a couple of good games together. And I think that if they can put it against anybody, it would be Watford. Battle of the two that have started to play rather well. West Brom versus Norwich. I'm going to go for a draw. Who should we look out for in League One? We have Bristol Rovers versus Portsmouth. Burton versus Blackpool. Who else should we be looking out for? Oxford versus Cambridge. Oh, wow, Oxford, Cambridge. Wigan versus Derby. Port Vale versus Barnsley. And Peterborough versus Reading. So there's a few good games in there. Stevenage, the surprise package versus Northampton. Yeah. Oh, and there's a goal there. Stevenage 1, Northampton 0. I said they were the surprise package, and they've got a goal. Nothing yet in the Championship, nothing in the Premiership. I'm gonna go into the Sheffield United game, because then I can choose. Oh, we can choose my side. There we are. Rotherham versus Middlesbrough. It's that or Sheffield United Luton. So we will.
Right-hand sided with Deek Steele, but he's having to play it back towards the halfway line with Matt Clark.
Well, we're okay there.
To the right-hand side, Boris slowly trying to edge forward here. So as things stand, just to say as well, there are no goals in any of the other 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. There are 2 late games as well, Birmingham against Stoke City and Ipswich against Leicester. Those games will also be available on our service. Here come Borough now, Sam Greenwood into the box. There's no offside, he lays it back, a strike coming in. Janssen dives, there was a defender blocking the shot just in front of him. And in the end, it's cleared away for a throw. But that was already starting to look dangerous inside the Rotherham penalty area. It will be that the experienced Sean Morrison got the final block, but it was Greenwood who went through on the overlap. There was no offside. He rolled it back, and the striker coming in, looks like it was Isaiah Jones with the effort. Johansson was diving, so there was a good chance the keeper was going to save it as well. But Morrison taking no chances.
Coventry are home to Sheffield Wednesday.
For a throw to Middlesbrough.
Short time already, but Sheffield Wednesday are 61% possession.
Now on the halfway line, still playing. That's the new Den, by the way.
Coventry have 1 corner so far.
Second half. Good job. It's a local game.
And Wednesday do appear to be pushing quite hard.
At
that point.
Down the right-hand side for Isaiah Jones to chase.
Cardiff versus Plymouth.
One is out for a throw.
The initial plans here. Right, let's have a look. Plymouth are already 27% possession, but they're really pinned back. Cardiff have 73% possession, and they've already had a couple of shots on goal, 2 shots on goal, 2 corners. So they're doing really well.
There are 4 players in the box for him to aim for. Bangura's cross. It's headed away, only partially dealt with. It drops perfectly at Housen. He chooses not to shoot. He lays it off to Deek Steele, then goes back, and a strike coming in here from Jones. It was a measured effort from Isaiah Jones. It's on target, but it's catching practice for the goalie there, really. Johansson just stood his ground and made a very
more
save in the end.
Odds have disappeared for Cheltenham versus Shrewsbury. They come back.
But as a result of which, never really went to the side of the keeper.
Usually it means there's either a yellow or red card coming, or even a penalty.
Clearance from Johansson this time towards the halfway line, up in the air. But the visitors winning back almost straight away.
Let's go for now.
Trying to make his stick, and Liam Richardson is on his feet now, trying to get
I'm just
some
trying to
further
think
instructions
here
out to
because
his
we need
players.
to have a quick look at what's happened so
Side
far.
are up against
So,
it today, but if they could,
you see,
get a
Millwall
good
have won.
performance and get some
That puts them.
something to sort of hold on
That
to in
puts
this game.
them nicely out
Feel as though
of
his
the
side
relegation battle.
potentially are
And
turning a
to be
corner
honest, I
in
didn't
games,
expect
for
them to
Rotherham.
stay there anyway.
After this afternoon, they're at home to Sunderland, then they're away to Blackburn, then they're away to Fulham in the FA Cup before a game at home to Stoke City. It's not the easiest of fixtures coming up, as there's an offside flag appeal there at the edge of the penalty. Oh, and now the referee, well, the offside has been awarded here, but Johansson is complaining that he's been run into here by the Middlesbrough forward, and the referee Andrew Kitchen is coming across to check this as well. The offside flag, perhaps there was a little bit of a delay in the flag going up. And you could argue that there is within his rights to try and go for that one. Was played through the middle. Just see from this replay, it's Howson's ball, picked up here by Jones, played in towards Rodgers, and as Rodgers comes in, he does clatter into Victor Johansson there. Just see from this replay. And I mean, Johansson comes out to make the save. Remember that it's an old expression, isn't it? That you've got to be a little bit crazy, a little bit mad to be a goalkeeper, because you sort of throw your head down to where most people have.
So look at Swansea away to Southampton.
Pitch, but on this occasion, looks as though
Southampton are attacking.
the
Joe Aribo on their right hand side pulls it back to Bellis across to Benarek.
But they are preparing their substitute keeper here, Rotherham, so they're obviously a little bit fearful that he may not be able to get up. So Dylan Phillips is warming up just in case. 28-year-old. Most of his career at Charlton Athletic.
That's all we need.
Warmed up just in case. And Liam Richardson using this opportunity just to call his two strikers over. Hugill and Nombi have about 3 times between them in these first 10 minutes. Got to try and have some sort of a plan B for when Borough are
60-40 to Southampton play. Attacks 25 to Southampton, 6 to Swansea.
He's still being checked over here.
Yeah, there's only been 2 shots on goal and they've both gone to Swansea.
Run off and then run on again.
Completely the opposite.
Like the outfield players do. So that means that the keeper does have that little bit more time here to be checked over. Just looking at the sort of the body language and the way he's moving around, Johansson, I don't think he's going to be taken off here. But you never know. It will be a case that he's going to stay on the field, try and take another goal kick, try and chase after a ball, and if he finds then that he can't move around, then potentially that is when he may consider an offer.
Changes at Cardiff, Plymouth, so there's a few odds moving there. Let's see what's happening. We have Cardiff still on the up, 65% possession, 2 corners to nothing, 3 shots to nothing, none on target, which is a little bit worrying for Cardiff fans, you think.
To make sure it reached him. Nombi was chasing that just in case, but the goalkeeper there for Borough comes out and makes a save. Back on the way here now, and it is Middlesbrough in their change, sort of like a dark navy kit, isn't it? Against the Rotherham's red, of course, they had to change it. It would have been a clash as Bangura now off down the left-hand side here for Borough over the halfway line, but running straight into trouble in the form of Jamie Lindsay. It's now played over towards the right-hand side, a bit more space in now for Dink, still trying to get away from Bramall, heading into the penalty area. Cross coming in, it's blocked, and now it's, well, Rotherham, to be fair, they don't just clear it long, they are still trying to play out from the back. Mbikis has passed down the right, isn't particularly good, but he gets a bit of a bonus there in that the ball sort of deflects off the Middlesbrough man.
It's all because Cardiff are playing it in their own area.
Down the right-hand
along
side.
their right-hand side.
So with the ball.
Pass it forward to Wintle in attack. NG Colwill, and he loses it to Gibson. I'll give them the credit. Plymouth's back line is extremely strong, and it does look to be a holding out. So Plymouth are defensively extremely strong away at the minute at Cardiff.
staff at football clubs, of course.
Nothing in the Premiership. Let's have a look in the League One. Burton Albion 1, Blackpool 0.
Taking one round of games away, effectively.
Stevenage are still 1-0 up at home to Northampton.
Just before Christmas, being so close to Boxing Day.
No important ones
just before Christmas.
anywhere
then the
else.
Boxing Day games, and
Wrexham
then the
are
New Year's
winning
games.
1-0.
Lost a round of games because normally you'd have a full round of fixtures on the 28th and 29th as well.
So we have,
of course, still being maintained. So all the sides playing today will be playing again on the 29th. Say Rotherham are home to Sunderland. Middlesbrough, meanwhile, will be returning.
Let's have a look. We will go to Hull Sunderland. Yeah, why not? We'll go to Hull versus Sunderland. One of the ones I really find difficult to work out who's going to win. It's 60% Hull at the minute, which is quite surprising. One shot each, but Hull's was on target and Sunderland's wasn't. Odds are both 13 to 8, and a draw, basically, if you call it the same to 8, then it's 18 to 8. So, yeah, quite interesting game. That looks quite even. There you go, West Brom Norwich. There's another one of those games that I said could be a nice score draw. At the minute, it's 77% West Brom. Wow. I really wouldn't have thought they were that dominant. Yet, you say that, nine dangerous attacks to West Brom, 1 to Norwich. Shots on target, shots total, 1 to West Brom, 2 to Norwich. And Norwich have had 1 on shot on target. So, yeah, it's not going to plan. As far as, again, it's that possession thing. It's not actually working out the way you expect.
Lets this one go out. It's a chance for his side now, just to try and slow things down here in midfield. We can see Liam Richardson to get some further
a lot of them are offside from a throw-in. How can it be offside from a throw-in? That's absolutely naff, isn't it?
Try and hold on to the ball as much as they can, but say.
Southampton scored against Swansea, so it's Southampton 1, Swansea 0.
So that's been given us a free kick to Middlesbrough. Now played back towards goalkeeper Tom Glover.
So from, what did we say, 52% possession, they are now 1-0 up.
Quick turn there from Sam Greenwood. Now the ball's off down the right.
Strangely, Swansea have had only 2 dangerous attacks, and yet they've had 3 shots at goal, even if...
low ball into the box, but that is way too close to goalkeeper Johansson.
Even if they've only had 2 dangerous attacks, they've had 3 shots on goal, which is weird. So when they're up there, they're doing well. But they're now 1-0 down. Plymouth are now 1-0 up at Cardiff. I did tell you, Plymouth were very, very staunch in defence. They were being extremely good in defence. There's even a goal at Sheffield United. Now it's Sheffield United 0, Luton Town 1. So we're starting to see a few goals go in.
Over towards the right-hand side now. Lembikis are getting away from his man, putting a cross in, but it's just too close towards Bangura there. He gets a block in, and then it's cleared down the left-hand side by Sam Greenwood. Gets a deflection on the way off Lembikis as well. That will allow Middlesbrough now to have this throw on just at the edge of their own box. It was Joe Aribo that got the goal for Southampton, and it was Whittaker that got the goal for Plymouth away at Cardiff. A goal in the Premier League as well. Sheffield United 0, Luton Town 1. Alfie Doherty with the goal for Luton.
No, you've heard it on that.
Middlesbrough in possession here, as they have been pretty much since the first minute. Just as I say, that lower pass through the middle has been cut out. So there is a chance here now for Rotherham to at least hold on to a bit of possession. It's Nombi now over towards Lembikis on the right-hand side. He's under real pressure having to go towards the halfway line. Visitors half a chance to try.
Well, I'm looking at the Rotherham game while it's on the okay, we've lost it to Dale Fry in
Dale Fry in progress, but at least they're keeping possession for a minute or two here on the halfway line. It's now sent over the top.
Shall we go Watford, Bristol City? Let's go Watford, Bristol City. Watford have a throw in on their left, right next to the box, and then they throw it all the way back to halfway.
Middlesbrough penalty here where Glover clears this up towards the halfway line.
A bit like ping pong at the minute. I hate it. I think Watford were ping pong last Saturday. It was really annoying.
Penalty area.
It's in the Bristol City box now with Bristol City. They've got to try and play it out, but they just belt it out for a Watford throw in.
Pressure here, but
halfway in their own half. So Watford are now halfway in the Bristol City half. So Bristol City are under the cosh at the minute. We're listening to he's gone. We're listening to Rotherham United while watching Bristol City and away at Watford at the minute. So Watford are on the attack with Ken Sema, Jamal Lewis.
Greenwood going for goal, and that's a one-handed save from Johansson. It's a good strike. He really put his foot through the ball there, Sam Greenwood. And that was certainly heading on target.
Ryan Andrews for Watford. Can he pass it into the net? Can he pass it into? He's trying his best to get away from the defence so he can get in cross it. But where's he going to go? Where's Ryan Edwards going to go? I think he's being tackled out here. Yeah, Bristol City throwing, tackled out. He was just forced out to the off the field at that one, which is rather unfortunate. It goes back, but it's now back with Ryan Edwards in on the halfway line for Watford, and he loses it to Pring straight away. So Bristol City, it's a little bit ping pong. I'd say that one's a little bit ping pong ball. And we have a goal at Coventry versus Sheffield Wednesday. It's Coventry 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Southampton 1, Swansea 0, and Cardiff 0, Plymouth 1. In the Premiership, we've got Sheffield United 0, Luton Town 1.
Rotherham have approached this game. They've accepted the fact that Middlesbrough are going to be in complete control, effectively. It's just a case of them now trying to.
Anything in League One that's changed? Barnsley are now 1-0 up away at Port Vale. Derby are 1-0 up away at Wigan. They're the only 2 goals since last looked at those.
But it's a difficult one to sort of come out of the dressing room at your own ground and expect to be sort of sat behind.
Let's have a look at Huddersfield versus Blackburn.
Not an easy mindset. Then, of course, if you do
At the minute, it's with Blackburn in their own box. Playing it forward to Hyam. Dominic Hyam across to short pass to Tronstadt, back to Carter, and back to the beginning. Tronstadt, Hyam, across to Carter, lobs it forward, and Nakayama gets it for Huddersfield in his own half. Let's have a look at the stats. We have 4 shots to Huddersfield, 3 shots to Blackburn, 2 shots on target for Huddersfield, 1 on target for Blackburn. And Blackburn have 69% possession, which is very much like most Huddersfield games. They like to sit back, soak up the pressure and just do a quick attack. And I have actually managed, you can tell by the positioning of where they are in the league and where they have been in the league, that they have this ability to be able to just belt that forward and get that goal. 1 shot on target, 1 goal. And they get that from Neil Warnock's attitude. And they seem to just manage to keep hold of that thought. 3 corners as well to Huddersfield. So they are pushing that ball hard enough for it to be thought to be an issue. And then Blackburn are just belting it out for a corner. Who is it at the minute? It's in goal with Blackburn.
In terms of restricting and stifling Middlesbrough, there's certainly something to be said for what Rotherham are doing, but whether or not they've got enough about them to actually try and go for some sort of attack
have
themselves.
a look. Who haven't we looked at so far? We looked at. We'll just go up them again. We'll go up them from the bottom. West Brom. We've got a West Brom at the bottom now.
Across the 6-yard box. Oh, it's just a little bit too quick there for Silvera and for Jones, but it's going to be kept in play here down the right-hand side.
We've got 6 shots on goal for West Brom now. They've doubled their shots on goal. And Norwich haven't had an extra shot on goal. They're still 2 shots on goal. So now, with 4 corners, West Brom are and 78% possession. West Brom are now turning that possession into shots, which they weren't doing at the beginning. So West Brom are now starting to pull that back. West Brom is certainly in the upper ascendancy there. There you go, Watford versus Bristol City. This was a little bit ping-pongy. Watford seemed to be just...
Not much contact there with Oliver Aspin. I think that's why he was a little
I don't know. 4 shots to Watford, 2 shots to Bristol City. More clear-cut ones for Watford, but it's 50-50 play now. I think Watford have started to come back. Watford are the ones that are starting to pull the possession into shots on goal. Yeah, bet 365 I sort of agree with that. Evens.
Put his foot through it. Seemed like a decent connection there from Johnny Howson, but the shot dragged wide.
So,
there was no deflection
1-1.
either, so
They're saying evens for a Watford win. Southampton versus Swansea. Quite even, really. I can't really say that it's very. I mean, a yellow card for 1 yellow card for Swansea, which this early on is not bad, but they've had 4 shots as well.
Grabbed his left leg again, so whatever happened with that earlier collision, he's not going to be able to play on. So it looks
Rotherham have lost their goalie through a bad challenge earlier on.
Wait and see whether or not he is needed, but the fact that the keeper sat down in the way that he has, he's been moving around okay. I think Victor Johansson made a couple of quick saves. He's come out and claimed a couple.
So
of
Southampton,
and he made that good save.
Swansea have got the ball at the minute in their own 6-yard box.
As well.
They're 14-1 to win.
Well, he's been checked over again.
They are 1-0 down.
He's had a sip of water, and it doesn't seem to be anything that suggests he's going to be going off. So although it looked quite bad in terms of the keeper sat down and needing some.
Rotherham 0, Middlesbrough 0 when we're listening to that, so that's quite good. Well, not good for the Rotherham fans because their goalie's been clattered into and has an injury, so he's playing with an injured leg, injured foot.
Dylan Phillips, I'd be warming up just in case.
Hull, Sunderland.
Need to come on at some stage because that's twice the physios have been on now to look over.
Hull are slightly more possession, 54% to 46. Sunderland have got 3 corners to 0 though, so they're and they're having they're 7 shots on target, so they're using their possession better. So Sunderland are using the possession better. They're getting a hell of a lot more shots in. Hull have only managed 1 shot, and that was on target. I will say that Sunderland's 7 shots, none on target. So we get back, and we go back to Huddersfield in our 1-up at Blackburn.
Coming in, it hits the bar and is away from goal. That should be 1-0 to Middlesbrough. Ball set up perfectly there for Sam Greenwood, but a strike.
Middlesbrough hit the bar.
Goes away. Doesn't go out of play though. It's still kept in here, and it's Sam Greenwood again.
Huddersfield 1, Blackburn 0. So Huddersfield is 7 shots on goal. Blackburn 3. 66 possession. It's still 66% possession to Blackburn. I said, didn't I, that that's what Huddersfield like. They like to have
by Sam Notman.
just enough possession of the ball to be able to break and just catch the opposition feeling that it's going to be a walk in the park and just get through and score a goal. And what will probably happen now is that Huddersfield will pull back and they will play the rest of the rest of the game, which is it's another 60 minutes. They'll play another 60 minutes of 10 men in the box. I mean, Hayden Carter's got it for Blackburn in their own area. Wharton, Pickering. I would expect this now to slowly make up into about the final third. And no, they've lobbed it forward, which is not a great idea with Huddersfield, because they've got everybody back. If you just lob it forward, you're lobbing it into a 10-man wall of Huddersfield players. And that's why Blackburn lost against Rotherham last season. They came thinking they were going to slaughter us, and I think we slaughtered them. But they kept lobbing it into the Rotherham area. But we had 10 men behind the ball. And it's not going to work like that. They can still win it, but it's not going to... I would be very doubtful that they're going to do it by lobbing it into the box like that.
Coventry lead against Sheffield Wednesday.
Cardiff won. Plymouth won, yeah.
Blackburn leading, Huddersfield leading against Blackburn as well. That would be a result that sides down the bottom would be very interested in. Huddersfield have been that perennial side just outside of relegation most of this season. If they were to win today, that's certainly something that teams like...
Yeah, I mean, what does that make? Let's have a look at what that Huddersfield win would do. So on the table, please. So that puts Huddersfield in 20th position on 25 points. It's still Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, but then Stoke City are 4 points away from QPR in 21st. QPR we know have lost. Sheffield Wednesday are losing. Rotherham are drawing but holding on by the skin of their teeth with an injured goalie. So I think the bottom three are pretty much stuck on at the minute. But you never know. Huddersfield's actually winning, so that's sort of pulling... Whoops, something happened. Something happened, I don't get that. Millwall are in... I don't get that. Millwall 26 points in 19th. Oh, sorry, yeah, Stoke City. Yeah, Stoke's out. I had it scrolled. The table scrolled the wrong way. Yeah, Stoke City 21st, 24 points, 4 points away from QPR. So Stoke City will be no doubt thinking that there's not an awful lot they can do now, but Birmingham tonight. So they've got Birmingham tonight. They've just got to be able to sit and watch and hope that Birmingham don't win. And Ipswich Leicester, of course, is atop of the league. One tonight at 7:45. No doubt. Yep, that's on Sky.
Had that stayed in play, there would have been something.
So we're on 31 minutes to 33 minutes, depending on which game we're in. And we have got Cardiff City 1, Plymouth 1. With Cardiff City in the attack at the minute, got a throw in. Possession-wise, actually, Plymouth are 52%, so it's about even. But Cardiff City now just cannot get it past that back line. And I said, didn't I? That Plymouth back line is very, very staunch. They have found a way around it, but Plymouth seem to be very strong at the back.
He won't be
They're
disappointed with this
still
game so far, because he would argue that his side are looking pretty good. But the same time,
Very good.
you're a little bit concerned that really your Hanson's only had one save
Coventry
to make
versus Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry have now got a throw in near the Sheffield Wednesday box. Might just be able to get that near the corner of the back corner of the box. I'd probably be rolling it backwards. They have rolled it back to halfway and then just make sure they keep the ball at the risk of losing it, and then crossed it to their right from the left. Sakamoto is on the right into the Lacabaudière. Eccles, they're just passing it left and right. See whether they can get past the Sheffield Wednesday's defence, which is very good. It's improved a hell of a lot over the last probably about 6 games. They've really strengthened that back line. I don't know who they've got in it, but they've probably got rid of the Rotherham guy that was in the middle. Another throw in near the halfway line for Coventry on their left. Ooh, sneaks it down the line. Birdwell right.
Taken down a potential. He was trying to find space for the shot there, Jordan Hugill, but as he does so, loses his balance there, and the strike in the end.
And he pushes it to the right hand corner for Coventry, back to Lacabaudière in the middle. Eccles in the middle, and it gets taken off him by Byers, who just gives it back to right. Eccles. It's all Coventry at the minute. Another attack, Sakamoto. Can he get it into the box? Oh, no, it's cut out by Palmer, who gives it to Musaba. Back to Palmer. They're trying to play themselves out of the box Wednesday. Not a good idea in the Championship. We've got Wednesday trying, just kick the ball out, guys. Come on. You can't do this in the Championship. They're trying to play themselves out of trouble at the back. And Coventry are far too good a team to be allowing Wednesday to pass it out from there. Why is it all stopped? Bet365 have actually stalled the game. Got belted out apparently for a throw-in, that's why. Coventry throw-in back to halfway, and we are back with Coventry. 1-0 up against Wednesday, and they're just passing it around nicely in midfield. But they run it out, and it's Wednesday throw-in. They try and pass it back. Let's see whether they can do the same. Barry Bannon in midfield, which shows that they're playing quite deep, because Bannon is usually a lot further forward. Famueo. Dijon Palmer right in attack, but Eccles passes it to right. Coventry can now try and get it out of their box. Which he does. He runs with it, actually, Haji right, and then gives it to Matt Godden in midfield. We'll just see where this one goes. Oh, straight to Sakamoto in the Wednesday box. Can he cross it? He must be trying to find a way of trying to pass it around to try and get it into the box, but it's just not. Like I said, the Wednesday defence is very, very strong. Sakamoto still a bit ping-pongy in the defence, I think. He's still got. He's pulling it back. He's walking it back. Iwij, who loses it, and it's a goal kick to Wednesday. Oh, and he loses it. Jesus, shot on goal. The Wednesday goalkeeper got it, and he somehow loses it. Gives it to the Coventry attack, who shot and hits someone and bounces off to Eccles on Coventry right, and now they're back in the attack, and it's what the hell was the Wednesday goalkeeper doing? I said I was going to wait for the end of this attack, and
stayed on that right hand side after the throw on. The ball is partially cleared. Lembikis still recycles it. It's back now with Lindsay. So Lembikis again. There's an option down the right hand side in Tehi. Kisser again trying a left-footed ball this time. It's a good one as well, and it's just curling too close to the keeper. Morrison was still lurking inside the box.
And it's back to the goalie, and Wednesday start to develop it. That game is nearly all Coventry.
Too many problems.
Nearly all Coventry. Nothing else. I don't think. Oh, Bristol City are 1-0 up against Watford. It's now West Brom 0, 10-man Norwich 0.
For most of this game.
I don't look at that. It's Saints from. It looks like a second yellow for Saints in the Norwich midfield.
They're heading towards the penalty area. It's the deck, but it wasn't fouled. Second ball quickly recycled here. It's with they're playing it back. Over now towards the left-hand side for a Bangura. He's got 3 or 4 players to aim for inside the penalty area. Just choosing to hold it up for now, then rolling it back in towards Dan.
I know that Middlesbrough are playing Dan Barlasser, the guy they got from Rotherham.
Good header away by Sean Morrison.
So we are roughly on 40 minutes all the way through. We've got Hull City a bit far behind. Now, I would expect, because Plymouth are one of these teams that have come up, that they're playing the kick it out style. We had about 13 or 18 minutes extra play in the first half against Rotherham and at Plymouth, and we were just visibly knackered by half time, and by the final whistle, Rotherham had lost and were just 3-2 defeat away from home. And we were just knackered. We'd played about, I think it was about 105, 110 minutes worth of football. But that's the way that Plymouth are playing it, and it is working for them. So we're now on 40 minutes. Like I said, let's have a look at West Brom Norwich, because I think that's going to be an interesting time now with that red card. You look at the stats, it's now 75% possession for West Brom. Norwich, 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 corner. West Brom, 6 corners, no yellows, no reds, 11 shots to 5. But there again, only one of those 11's on target, and Norwich have 2 of their 5 on target. So
down the left-hand side with Silvera. Silvera teeing up, a strike comes in, but it's another tame effort from Isaiah Jones. No issue there at all for Johansson to try and save that one.
So we are getting into those final 5 minutes. Huddersfield and Cardiff are the 2 teams that have played the most time, but I'm going to guess that Cardiff Plymouth will be the last to finish before we turn this live off. So I'm going to guess that it's going to be Cardiff Plymouth will be about 10 minutes extra time. I can't wait now. I'm going to have to go to the Cardiff game when we get closer to it, aren't I? They go down to League One. It's Cheltenham 1, Shrewsbury 0, Fleetwood 1, Carlisle 1, Oxford 0, Cambridge 1. That's a surprise. Peterborough 1, Reading 0, Port Vale 0, Bournemouth 3, Stevenage 2, Northampton 0, and Wigan 0, Derby 1. So there's a fair few goals in League One. Still just the 1 goal in the Premiership. Only 2 games, of course. Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0, and one of the games has just gone blank. Sheffield United 0, Luton 1, Cardiff. Oh, that's just come back. Something happened in the Cardiff Plymouth game, but interesting one. Let's have a look at it. I think that we have to have a look at this. Look at the timeline. What just happened? A yellow card to Plymouth. on 44 minutes. It was enough of a danger for Bet365 to clear the odds. They only do that when there's something serious that could change the course of the game. They've just done it at Bournemouth, so Bournemouth versus Fulham. Have a quick look. In fact, there's nothing. That's very strange, guys. There's no play. The ball's not in play. The clock is on 44 minutes, 41, 43, 44. No odds, no game data. Nothing is apparently happening. First goal, cover shot. Well, Bournemouth have just scored. That's why. Bournemouth 1, Fulham 0.
Find his feet at Bournemouth as well. A bit of a slow start there, but scored a few goals, and Bournemouth finally picking up some form as well, just at the right time.
They were. That's why it went. See, that's what happens, guys. It goes blank, and there's something happened. So they were obviously just checking whether it was a goal or not.
It's goalless between Hull and Sunderland. Goalless here between Rotherham and Middlesbrough. Southampton lead Swansea by a goal to nil. Watford trail by a goal to nil at home to Bristol City. It's goalless between West Brom and Norwich, but Norwich are now down to 10 men.
Yeah, Norwich down to 10 men, 0-0 away to West Brom. Bristol City are winning Watford away. Southampton are winning at home against Swansea. Hull City, Sunderland 0-0. Rotherham, Middlesbrough 0-0. God knows how. Huddersfield 1, Blackburn 0. Coventry 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And Cardiff City 1, Plymouth 1. And we can actually go now. I said about 10 minutes. There's an own goal for Cardiff.
30 seconds to go until we hit injury time.
So let's have a look. There's only 2 minutes extra. I'm totally wrong. I apologise. It's only 2 minutes extra at Cardiff, which is that. I wonder if that's because the percentage play can't be all towards Cardiff, surely. No, it's actually more towards Plymouth. So I'm actually surprised at that. They've got more of the ball, and they're not just lobbing it out like they usually do. Bristol City have scored a second away at Watford.
Doing what they can to soak up pressure and to try and play out from the back. Middlesbrough haven't really been put under any pressure defensively, but they probably wish they would have had more opportunities to put Rotherham under some sort of pressure, because the visitors are having to track
Rotherham are on the attack with Lembikisa. And Lembikisa is actually in attack, which is it's what Rotherham fans want. It's the defence really pushing forward and getting that high press. Whether it works or not is another thing. 3 minutes to go, and Rotherham are in the attack.
And then he hits the deck, looking a little bit worse for wear. We'll have to wait and see whether or not he's going to be okay to.
So we are getting close to finishing here. So Cardiff have gone into half time 1-1 with Plymouth. Sheffield United have gone into half time 1-0 down at home to Luton. Anybody else at half time? Yes, Southampton 1, Swansea 0 is half time. Watford 0, Bristol City 2 is half time.
Against brick boards. 2-0 now, by the way, at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Bristol City 2. Preem with the first goal, then a own goal, making it 2-0.
Any special results in
half times are starting to trickle in the Championship as well. 1-1 between Cardiff and Plymouth.
I think League One is pretty as it was before, really.
Cleared, and here come Middlesbrough again. It's Howson at the edge of the box. He couldn't quite find a pass in, and now all of a sudden Rotherham have got some space here to break out. It's 4-on-4 of the pass. The Nombi is the right one, and it is a good pass. He's breaking into the penalty area now. Flashes one across goal, but that is not a good ball in really from Sam Nombi. Didn't really have too many options, so he tried to sort of run across and play that ball at pace from the left-hand side.
So,
as he was doing that,
Bournemouth now, the last game of the two to finish for half-time. Bournemouth 1, Fulham 0. So both the Premiership games are at half-time. Cardiff 1-1 is half-time. Southampton 1-0 up, half-time. Watford 2-0 down, half-time.
That's what Jamie Lindsay was asking our linesman. But nothing doing there. It is just giving us a goal kick to Westbrook. Carrick looking fairly calm there. The touchline, but I think he'll want his side to just show a little bit more in terms of keeping that pressure. I think the problem that Middlesbrough found is that Rotherham are actually quite good at soaking up the pressure, and it's down to Borough to just have that little bit more imagination to actually have the right moves in to try and get players further forward, to try and get shots away and goals.
At the minute,
their advantage in this
I would
first
say we are
Borough would have liked to have had a few more shots.
going into half-time.
66% possession, for which they've had 8 efforts, and 3 of them have been on target. 3 efforts on target in a game where you've got 2/3 of the ball. I think there probably isn't quite good enough as Janssen doing well there, just to make sure that ball does go out of play for a goal kick.
Interesting thing is, actually, Huddersfield are 1-0 up against Blackburn. And they're on 51 minutes. So Rotherham 0, Middlesbrough 0, half-time. Let's have a look. Half-time. The only game that is playing is Huddersfield versus Blackburn. So we will play out with Huddersfield Blackburn. Huddersfield are now still 1-0 up against Blackburn, plus 7 minutes. So we've got another 40 seconds or so to go. Blackburn have it in their own area. They're probably thinking this is the last chance for Blackburn. Can they?
Half-time at the New York Stadium, and it is goalless between.
Can they indeed get that ball forward? For the last few seconds of the game. And I fear that is going to be it. They're just going to play it around in midfield and hope that they can get back in the second half and do something about it. And the answer is yes to that, I think. Let's go back and we'll hope that everything. "52 minutes, they're still playing. 52 and a half minutes. I would suggest there's been an injury or something in there. Yeah, Arne Sigurdsson, a Blackburn player. Arne Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson. No, whatever. Is injured at the minute for Blackburn. Let's see what happens here, because they certainly need to be able to keep their players. Huddersfield have it in their own box. They're just going to play this, I should imagine. Yeah, they give it to Hyam, who gives it back to Lees. Come on. Oh, gives it back to Wilshed. Oh, for heaven's sake. It's ping pong time. It's ping pong time for the last few seconds of the half. Huddersfield 1-0 up. Blackburn lose it in their own area with seconds to go of the first half. 53 minutes of 45 plus 7. Blackburn have a throw-in. Can they just lob it into the box? Well, not from there. They can't, but they might be able to throw it and then kick it forward. That's what they've tried. Kayam needs to kick it forward. You're not going to be able to work it forward from there, not with 54 minutes gone. And he kicks it forward, but Nakayama gets it in defence for Huddersfield, kicks it off a Blackburn player, and that's it. Half time. So there we have it. The interesting game here is West Brom 0, Norwich City 0, with Norwich City down to 10 men. It's also Rotherham 0, Middlesbrough 0. That's the other interesting game. And Huddersfield 1, Blackburn 0 has to be an interesting game because they are actually winning where you would expect them to be under. Well, they are under the cosh, but they're doing their usual trick with soaking up the pressure. Quick counter attack, quick goal, sit back, 10 men behind the ball. Works every time. One of Neil Warnock's mightiest points, I must admit. Say goodbye. We're going to go into the break and see what comes in the second half.